Okay. Um. Okay, with the release of our fourth combat style, we've made several improvements to how its combat function under the hood as a potential template to modernize combat. Okay, that makes sense. So they beta tested. So basically here they're saying necromancy was like a beta test of EOC 2.0. And it worked. So cool. Hit chance is gone. That's good. Damage consistency. This is really good. More fluid combat experience. I'm assuming this is to taste, or this is going to be like per each style. So that makes sense. Better tooltips and a channel UI. Good stuff. I don't care about this. Okay, damage potentials system. This is good. This is better than splashing. Splashing is cringe. Whoever invented splashing, if you got DDS in real life, I wouldn't care. Okay. Critical strike. You have 10% crit strike chance of 5% critical strike damage. Then 10% of the time, your attack's going to do 50% increased damage. Yeah, that checks out. So this is just the modern crit system. The old crit system is really counterintuitive. It's if you crit, your damage gets re-rolled to 95 to 100% of your max hit. That doesn't make any sense. So the new crit system is the way that crits work in every game, which is you get a damage multiplier. Damage cap up to 30k. This is good. Damage range squishing is very, very good. This is good stuff. Cleaner tooltips. That's good. Added a channel bar. This is good. And they're also fixing G-Conk, so G-Conk doesn't have the one-tick delay after it's done casting. Action bar slots now be highlighted briefly with a gold outline. This is good for you guys, so when I'm streaming, I'm going to have all 5 of my bars on screen, just because you can actually see what abilities I'm pressing and when. I don't think any of this other stuff matters. Yeah, none of this other stuff matters. And then this is the full patch notes. I don't really know. This is good with poison procs. Basically, you just get to see all of your damage splats with this, or more of your damage splats. Is there anything interesting here? I don't think any of this matters. So this is, we're doing slightly less damage, but it says that ability damage has been rebalanced to account for that. So I'm assuming all of the damage is just going to be up. So what this is this is saying that AoE abilities will now check based on the size of the unit. Yeah, I mean that makes sense though. Those specs were like kind of broken. But yeah, so like basically your abilities that care about ability range will calculate range based on the size of the original unit. So basically, for Zuk, this is the only boss where that's gonna matter, I think. Let me think if there's other boss where this matters. I think when you're clearing waves, this is just gonna mean that your greater chain, like, on average, is gonna chain more enemies together. Also, this helps a lot for melee significantly, but notably for greater chain, you're just gonna chain more enemies together, which is very good. So here a ton of damage went up. That's fine. This is fine. So Greater Fury always makes your next ability crit, which is nuts. Wait, hold on. Wait, this is nerfed? What? I thought they rebuffed this. Oh, no, they did. Okay. So your next ability within 15 seconds is guaranteed to crit. This is super good. It's on a longer cooldown, but that's fine. They reduced the cooldown of Sever to, like, be where Greater Fury was, so that's fine. You just use Sever now. And then after Greater Fury, you basically always want to use either Hurricane or Dragon Claws or Overpower or something. Unfortunately, Hand Cannon has a channel, so Hand Cannon still sucks. Okay, so these are getting reworked now, Langs. So replace old special attack set effect with new ones. So your main hand, 10% chance to apply Primordial Ice. Okay. Your offhand has a 2% chance to apply Primordial Ice. And whenever you apply a Primordial Ice stack, you gain Frostblade for 9 seconds. Attacks deal 24% of your ability damage stat on hit. I think this accounts for bleeds. So your bleeds are going to be really strong with this, which is nice. But just in general, the longer you have Primordial Ice, or actually Primordial Ice doesn't stack anymore, right? Or does it? I can't tell if this stacks. Oh, it does. Interesting. So I wonder if Frostblades also stacks. So like if Primordial Ice can stack 5 times, like are all my abilities doing an additional 120% on hit damage? This is like nuts. But I don't actually know. Oh, it stacks up to 10 times. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not sure if this stacks. If this stacks, this is like Exodia, like Langs are god tier now. But if this is just if you have any Primordial Ice stacks, then you do 24% damage. This is still good. It's not broken though. And then the spec, this seems to be like Super Hurricane, basically. This is fine. This is going to be like a lot of damage. This is probably just going to be like a 30k hit to everything in an AoE. Yeah, because the main target gets hit for 110, and the secondary target, and the main target also gets hit for 165, and everything else gets hit for 165. So yeah, this is... Langs are either disgustingly broken or really good. I'd be surprised if they were like ultra broken though. So this is all fine. I'm assuming that none of this matters. Okay, Bow of the Last Guardian stores less damage, has slightly higher base damage, and just doesn't hit as hard. And also, you don't double dip on crit. This is fine. This checks out. Okay, so this is just weaker, which is fine. SGB, this is like just the best spec weapon in the game now, which is really nice. Because before the issue was this could hit a random number of units or a random number of times up to 5 against non-blocked enemies. This will now always hit 5 times against 5x5 enemies. This is nuts. This is really good. This always hits 5 times. Wait, what does this mean? I think this means it always hits you 5 times. So this can't like low roll and like only hit you for like 1500 damage. This is always going to be like a 4k hit to yourself or something. Ruby bolts were disgustingly broken. That checks out. So they're nerfing them. Increase the damage of the attack by 25 to 125 based on your target's current health. I'm assuming this is a lot worse. If I did 400 Zammy in a group, can I not select to do 400 solo? Nope. Your solo, you can only scale it by doing more damage. Or by doing more kills. So you have to slowly climb your own enrage and solo. When arrows, this works on special attacks now. This is really nuts. This is super good. Like, super, super good. Oh my, Magma Tempest is like giga buffed. What the heck? Oh, they didn't change anything about magic other than Magma Tempest is giga buffed. I haven't logged into mobile in a few months, so I'm not sure. Okay, move the damage buff over to multiplicative bonus. So Dragon Battle Axe is a lot better now. Dragon Longsword just does a little bit more damage. Claws do a little bit less damage. Claws are nerfed largely because of the interaction with Greater Fury. Like, being able to Greater Fury Claws in your Zerk for like 40,000 damage, probably even more than that. That's just really good. Bandos Godsword, this seems pretty good. This is a lot of adrenaline for this effect, but this is pretty good. So it depends on how long the stat drain lasts, but in theory, you could like make a boss like AOD do less damage, which is interesting. I don't know if that's like a thing that matters, but it is interesting. It does mean that one person has no adrenaline, but it's something to think about. Saradomin's sword, Saradomin's lightning, both hits are now magic damage. This is really funny, but I don't think it's very good. It is very funny though. Vesta Spear, this is worthless. Keen Blade, I don't even know what this is, but this is worthless. Karasi Sword, this is worthless. Dark Light, this is worthless. Bale Chest Anchor, this is worthless. Brackish Blade, worthless. Magic Shortbow, Twin Fang is 50% adrenaline now. Does this matter? Let me see what the damage is on Magic Shortbow. This might matter. Magic Shortbow RS3. So 112 plus 400 divided by 2. Wait, all divided by 2? 256. So this has an average damage of 256. Wait, I think Magic Shortbow is just like more damage than Darkbow now. Oh, but they have reduced hit chance. So in theory, if you're fighting a boss where you have 100% accuracy with Magic Shortbow, it's just better than Darkbow. Which is funny. Magic Shield Bow, this is worthless. Guthix Bow. Does this even matter? I don't think this matters. This doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. This might be fine. It only being also, well, let me rephrase. I don't know if this dark bow damage is per hit or the entire spec. If this is per hit, this is just still way, way, way better. But if this is the entire spec, then magic short bow is better if you care about the if you have 100% accuracy, even taking into account the spec. Hand cannon is funny, but this this has a channel, so it's actually bad. Simplified PvP bonus. I think Xanax crossbow is bad, but I'm not sure. Quick bow is worthless. Players soul split to a split soul icon. Oh, okay, that's cool. So this just has more visual clarity. Seer Call damage now increases based on how high the target's current magic level is. This could be really good at Karapak and Zamorak, but it's probably bad. Decimate, this is whatever. Morgan's Javelin applies in PVM. This is a good amount of damage. Like, if you're doing Bic Arrow builds, this is probably going to be one of your best in slot weapons for Bic Arrow builds. For like an adrenaline sink. If you could stack javelins. That's the big caveat. It's still fine if you can't stack javelins, but if you can stack them, this is like kind of nuts. I'm assuming the secondary hits can't crit, but yeah, if you can stack this, this is like really, really crazy. Strike bow, this is bad. Don't care. Ivan's Blast, this might be good. What's the damage on Gothic Staff? Gothic Staff RS3. Gothic Staff is 220 average. Gothic Staff is more efficient, but this just hits way harder. Ivan Staff might be kind of juicy, honestly. Might be the tech. Yeah, so like my guess is that at the highest level, if you're like above 50 adrenaline, you opt into Ivan Staff, and if you're below 50 adrenaline, you opt into Gothic Staff. So like, oh yeah, I haven't even seen the Armadale Battle Staff yet, so need to look at that whenever it comes up. 10-inch Trident. This is a lot of damage. This isn't good, but that's a lot of damage. This is cringe. Oh, Armadale Battle Staff seems really good. You probably just switch back to Armadale Battle Staff. Like, I think Armadale Battle Staff is probably just better than Gothic Staff, unless you G-Conk and, like, miss on your adrenaline, so you are still under 45%, then you would Gothic Staff instead. But I think if you're above 50 after your G-Conk, I think you just always ABS. Yeah. It's gonna be tough because, like, this is lower average ability damage than Ivan's Blast, but this is 5 hits. So that's really good. So yeah, I actually don't think there's a reason to use Ivan's Blast. I think if you have, well, let me rephrase. If you have a fractured staff, there's no reason to use Ivan's Blast. If you would be using Ivan's Blast, you should just be using Armadillo Battle Staff. Okay, Surge, Dive, Escape can always be cast during global cooldown. So the big question here is, if I Surge as an ability is coming up, will it replace the ability I was going to use with Surge? If not, this is very good. Otherwise, it's still fine. Like, no matter what, this is fine. But if you can use Surge on same tick as your abilities, this is very, very good. Like, super, super good. Equilibrium Aura has now been redesigned. Now increases the player's damage stat by 12%, but prevents the player from critically striking. If you don't have a crit ring, if you don't have a biting 4, if you don't have Grimoire, Equilibrium Aura is probably going to be your best in slot damage. Yeah, that's basically it. Eruptive, this is the old Equilibrium, now increase your ability damage by 0.5 per rank. This is fine. It makes sense, because with damage squishing, what Equilibrium did doesn't do anything, so it checks out. PvP damage effectiveness, none of this matters. Better animations. Max hit mode is guaranteed crit mode. Okay. This doesn't matter. I guess this is a nerf to hybriding, but who cares? G-Kong is fixed. That's good. All auto attacks do 10% more damage on average. That's good. Blood tendrils. Cool. Greater Barge no longer forces channeled abilities to attack every 4 cycles. It said using the same rate the ability would naturally do it. Oh, okay, cool. So basically, if you have an ability that does damage faster than if it bled every 4 cycles, it now does the faster damage. So that's good. Flurry's buffed. That's good. Berserk has been updated to be a multiplicative modifier. This is really good. Magma Tempest is like Omega buffed. Like, that's like a disgusting ability now. Which makes sense. It kind of sucks that Magma Tempest was only really good for pre-firing and like you would use it in AoE kind of. But Magma Tempest is more than twice as strong. Rack and Ruins bonus effect is stack based. Cool. So you can G-Chain Rack, I guess, and then you'll have max stacks of Rack and Ruin. That's exciting. Greater Dazing Shot is better. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know this had a hit chance debuff, but yeah, cool. So basically, TLDR, everything's way better. Thanks for watching.